if you are wondering if you should get married or not get married, if you're ready, if your partner's ready, is this the person you're supposed to marry or not? It really doesn't have to be this great big mystery. You could figure it out, and oftentimes it is going to take time and experience, but also asking lots of really good questions. It's always surprising how little of the great big areas very few couples have conversations around before they say I do. So today I'm going to give you 5 questions every person should ask their partner before they say I do. Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm passionate about helping you understand what relational trauma is so that you can heal, move on, prevent it, and get on with your life. So here is some questions that are found from my book, Do I? You can find the link in the description. This is what every partner should ask. So here are a few things that I've heard through the years that differ in opinion regarding children. So one of them would be children are to be seen and not heard. That really is a way that some people are raised, that kids are to be seen and not heard, and they kind of take that with them into their next home that they cultivate and create with another person that they bring children into. So if you don't agree with that or believe that, you would want to know if that's what your partner is thinking and believing. Another one I've heard, children are a gift from above. Another one is, why would anyone have kids? The earth is already so overpopulated. And another one is, why would you get married if you didn't want kids? What's the point? So some people are believing marriage is beyond children. Some people are believing that you get married so you can have children. Some people are believing the earth's too populated. And some people are believing they're the future, so you have to have them. So deciding where you stand can be kind of tricky to express outside of actually preparing to have this type of a conversation. So it's a good thing you're here, especially if you're thinking about getting married. So here is question number 1. And again, this comes from Do I? It starts on page 61. So question number 1 regarding children when you are about to get married. This is a great premarital question you can ask. What is your view on children? Are they the most important special ones in the home? Should they be seen and not heard? Or do you have a different idea on children? So just in general, where do you stand on children and where does your partner stand on children? Number 2. Do you want to have children? And hopefully you would have had these conversations long before. But again, I do not take it for granted that couples have had these conversations because I find lots of couples do not. So if you don't know your partner's stance on children for sure, I mean, if you feel like they've hinted at it or if you feel like they've agreed with you, but they've never really said for themselves, super important that you have this conversation before you say I do. Do you want to have children? If yes, how many would you like to have? So it does seem oftentimes that people change their minds when they start having children if they're going to have kids. So they may say, I want 6. And then when they get to 3, they're like, I'm done. So just for now, as it is, being mindful, things can change. People change their opinion. You have a right to change your opinion. But just for right now, today, signing up to potentially get married, how many kids do you want? Are you planning to physically have children or are you planning to adopt? So that's another one that could be a source or a point of contention if one's really set on adoption and one is opposed or vice versa. So how are you planning to have the children? Number 3, if you plan to have children, what is your ideal time frame of when to have them? This can also add a lot of pressure to a relationship when people are not on the same page. So if you're thinking, within the first 2 years, I want to have at least 1 child. And if someone's thinking, no, I want to be married and experience our lives for at least 5 years before we start having kids, definitely a conversation you want to have and figure out the compromise before you say I do. So also indicate how far apart you would like to have your children. So would you like them 2 years apart? Are you thinking you want them further apart, closer together? And again, some things are going to happen when they're going to happen, but just what are you planning? What are you expecting? What would you like? These are big areas that you want to clearly communicate and say what it is you want and allow your partner to clearly communicate and express what it is they want. Number 4. Oh, this is a big one. Do you believe in spanking children? If not, how do you plan to implement discipline? So hopefully we all plan to discipline children, But if someone is very anti-spanking and someone is like, no way, you know, there's no way I'm not ever going to not spank my kids because I love my kids and I want to correct them. And the other person's like, that's crazy. Why would you ever hit anyone? I would never allow that, right? So these are just things to talk through and work through to see if you can compromise. If that's very different, you can always sign up for a parenting class and see if there is an alternative way that you both agree on as far as discipline can go. The next one, do you believe in one or more parents staying home to raise the children? Or do you expect that both parents will work and go to daycare, or do you have some other plan for your children? So this can be a large source and point of heartache for one person, or it can be a point of frustration for another person. So before you say I do, if you are planning on being a stay-at-home mom, for example, and your partner is very much against that and feeling like they're never going to agree to that, that's something you want to figure out before you say I do. Or if you don't want to stay home and maybe you're the female and your partner's like, no, you have to stay home to raise our kids. I'm not having kids to send them to daycare. I'm not going to have them. These are conversations you want to have before you say I do. Don't wait to get married and think this stuff is just going to work itself out. And I know a lot of people think that, but you can look at our divorce rates. It doesn't work. So the more conversations you can have, the more you can iron it out, the more you can put it on the table and actually look at what you're dealing with, the better off you're going to be. So again, you can find these 5 questions and many more regarding children, along with finances, in-laws, lots of other areas from Do I. The link is in the description. Take good care, and I'll see you in the next one.